It doesn't really matter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep, that looks good. Okay.
Welcome in Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped. I'm your host, Chris Bates, and sitting alongside of me today is the ever feisty, spicy Erica Tanner. And boy, we are on the road again. We are out at Ronnie's out here on the west side of Bennington. And before we get started, I just want to thank Bennington Storage for underwriting this show today.
Oh, thank you, Bennington Storage.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
Erica.
Chris, how are you?
I am fantastic. It's great. You know, I was thinking about how do I bring this up, right? And people out in the viewing area only know you from past shows, but now they're going to see you live today.
Live. Like, I'm the same person, Chris. I'm the same on tape. I'm the same
Right.
live.
Anyway,
Good to be here, though.
I know. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about ever since we started doing shows together, what was it like when I came to you and I said, hey, I got this great idea, right?
I thought your head should be examined. It sounded like fun. You know,
Right.
I love doing things in the outdoors and a chance to do things that I would not have done on my own, like when we went out and did the fly fishing. I'd never done it before. Didn't think I would be able to do it. Wasn't successful in that first run, but it was a lot of fun, and I learned something new. So I appreciate that opportunity. It's been great.
All the things, though, that we learn in the outdoors, and I always said this from day one, and I'm going to go back to 1984 when I first got on my radio
I wasn't
show.
born yet. No, just
When you have a woman on the show, it complements everything that a guy would be doing, believe it or not, okay? And when women that are novice women in the outdoors makes it so much more fun
right.
to go do things, to talk about the outdoors, and to have you really a total novice for the most part,
Right.
To go do these things. And when I call you up or I text you and I say, hey, I got the show we got to go do, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think we did the one for Reeling for Recovery, which was kind of a cool show.
It was. It was a great show, and it was great meeting the gentleman behind that.
Jerry Haley.
And why he started the organization.
Yup.
And just seeing young kids benefit from really an unfortunate event in his life, but getting kids out from behind computers and out to the outdoors and, you know, appreciating it, because
Right.
there's so much to do outside, and it's stuff that you have to do on your own, learn, you know, so that you can, you know, teach it to the next generation. So it's nice to see them doing this. And with the program, originally he thought, well, this isn't going to take off. Like, I don't know if kids want to be out. They just want to be on their computers.
Yeah.
And since that program began, he has several repeat campers. And then they tell their friends. And it's just a really great opportunity. And the gentleman who works with vets.
Right. And I can't remember his name.
That was also really great too.
the other cool thing was the Paul Smith College.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
What
campus.
a beautiful place. And that is in, if I remember right, the Adirondacks. And the Adirondacks are beautiful.
Yes.
I remember that road we're driving on, and it's just winding. And I was like, where is the end of this road, right? And then we've done some local stuff. And then I think the most recent one, we made soap.
Yes, with goat milk. Which was
Right?
right over in Cambridge, New York, and that was fun. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to get some more. But
Right?
yeah,
Over at Kaz Acres.
yeah, that was a lot of fun, and meeting the owners and just knowing that they name each and every goat, and they know each and every goat's name, and there's like 100 of them or so.
Right,
So,
and you're like, when you're doing the show, it was like, cut. How many cows do you have again?
no, they were
Some of the fun we've
yeah,
had,
They were so chill about that. The wife,
right?
you know, I just goat farmers didn't roll off my tongue. So how many cows you have?
And with me getting the names wrong, and it just, there's always something that happens, but it's still fun. So, you know, when people talk, though, about the outdoors now, you have a little bit better perspective of really kind of how it is and what it is. And, you know, the shows coming up I have for us to do. I know you're really always willing to jump in and say, you know what, let's go do it.
Let's give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen?
Right?
You know, I've always had an appreciation for the outdoors. I've enjoyed the outdoors as far as doing some skiing, some snowmobiling, hiking. But as far as doing sports and things like the fishing and the hunting and
Right.
well, that should be interesting.
Right.
Getting me out there turkey hunting.
Yes, that is on my list,
Yeah.
and I really, truly want to do this with you.
It's going to be amazing.
And we have a couple guides that are willing to go forward with this, so it'll be fun.
It'll be different.
Right? I just got back from Pulaski, New York, and we were out steelhead fishing. And steelhead fishing is now, so March through April. And then what they have is they have fallbacks, which is steelhead that already spawn out, and they're going back out to the Lake Ontario. So it was an interesting show. We learned about why the steelhead come up the rivers and the tributaries right after the king salmon come up there, because they want to gobble up eggs.
Yeah.
That's their whole thing. So they gobble up eggs, and there's a lot of fishing in there. So,
Yeah,
all
it looked
right.
like you had a great time.
Yeah, it was. I'll have to tell you more about it when we get off. All right, folks, we're out here at Ronnie's on the west side of Bennington, and our guest will be John Levesque coming up, and he's going to talk all about Ronnie's and why they have all this great stuff.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to be right back with more right after this. Welcome back to Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped. I'm your host, Chris Bates, sitting alongside the ever feisty, spicy Erica Tanner. I love that, by the way.
I'm sure
See,
you
look
do.
at how
I'm sure you
spicy
do.
and feisty she is. Anyway, we're out here at Ronnie's on the far west side of Bennington, and I want to thank Bennington Storage for underwriting our show today. Our guest today, John Levesque, General Manager of Ronnie's out here. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
Erica's got a couple questions. We were talking off air, and
Yeah.
fire away.
Fire away. So first of all, how long has Ronnie's Cycle been around?
Since 1956.
Wow. That's amazing. And you started off in Massachusetts, right?
Started off in Massachusetts in a chicken coop, believe it or not.
A chicken
coop. You
Wow.
can't make that up.
Folks, that is an outdoor secret.
So your locations in Massachusetts are in Adams, Pittsfield. You have a warehouse you set out in New Ashford.
Yes.
And your newest location is New
Is
York?
in Gilliland, New York.
That's
Wow.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
I would not have thought that, because, I drive by here and I go, wow, what a beautiful building. So,
And so you have all this gear out here. You can't see it, but we have a ton of bikes here, motorcycles here. We have ATVs back here, and we're up on the second floor. So there's a whole other layer to this building. So if you are in the market for any off-road vehicles, this is or
Stop on
off-road,
by.
on-road.
Yeah.
They're street bikes. Stop by here, but. Say I'm coming in and I'm like, you know what? I've been doing some outdoor stuff. I want to get myself a four-wheeler. And I know that there are different types, and we were talking off air a little bit. So I've heard ATV, UTV, side-by-side. Like, what are they? What is the difference, or is there a difference?
The UTV and side-by-side are one and the same. They're just what it says, side-by-side, so it's a 2-seat, up to 6-seat machine with the roll cage and a steering wheel.
Okay.
An ATV is, a four-wheeler, one person, maybe two, with certain models, and there's many different applications for each.
And that's what I was going to ask. Why would you go with one versus the other? Say I'm going out to camp. We're going out to hunting camp, going to deer camp for the week.
deer camp.
I'm going to hunt.
Right.
Am I looking to do this with a ATV, or is a side-by-side more practical?
It depends. ATVs obviously are narrower, so they can fit in different, applications in the woods, on a road. Depends how much gear you got to get to camp.
Right.
True.
Right.
I'm going to need a lot.
A lot of
I'm
gear.
going to need a lot of gear.
You're going to
Yeah,
need
I
a
might not-
side-by-side.
yeah. I'm going to have a lot of outfits for this.
So how does somebody come in and pick a four-wheeler? Like Erica, myself, or novice rider. I'm not even a rider yet. And I want to go, oh, my buddy's got this. And he says, oh, you got to get this one or get that one. How does somebody know what to get? Like, what's a good machine for me, or what's a good machine for Erica, that we could just say, okay, point us into this type of vehicle. Do you try to match the person with it? Is that how that works?
Yeah, so when somebody walks through the door, if you come in the door, first question we're going to ask you is, what are you going to use it for? How often are you going to use it? Where do you plan on taking it? Is it a work machine? Is it for trail? Is it for pleasure?
Okay.
Is it for hunting? Because there's certain applications, like most hunters buy a machine with a gun rack on the front. And
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
heated hand grips and a thumb warmer, because it's cold out usually when you're hunting.
Wow, I never.
That's me.
Speaking of, hold that thought for 1 second. So, I got to say this real quickly. So we're in Pulaski fishing for steelhead last week, right? It was cold, 31 degrees, and our guide says, "I got just the thing." They take hand warmers, they duct tape them to the handrail, to the handle, and you're like, "Wow, I could do this all day." Okay, so they're
Yeah.
heated.
They're heated. If you wanted a work machine, there's certain UTVs that have larger beds, maybe a dump bed, maybe electronic dump bed. Different size engines for hauling heavier
Right?
equipment. Maybe, a big thing is engine size. You can pick anywhere from a 250 up to a 1000.
Wow.
And that gets confusing for people.
Right?
And then the next question would, what's your budget? We don't want to put you in a $45,000 machine when you really only need a $15,000.
So do you find that, I think because of that model and you ask people those questions, I think it would relieve some of the pressure. Like for me, if I gave you all those answers and I was like, well, I have $15,000, you could set that up
Yeah.
for somebody like me to say, here you go, here's a great starter project.
Another question. I know that I ride motorcycles. I have a nice Suzuki Intruder, 1500, big girl. But my friend who wanted to get a bike, when we started looking, she's much smaller. She's 5'2", so she had to get something much smaller so she could at least touch the ground when we came to stops. Do ATVs come in different sizes like that, or just is it a one size fits all?
No, it's a different footprint. Doesn't vary too much. A few inches side to side and front to back. So really, that's not usually the application. In
Okay.
other words, it's not the same as buying a motorcycle because physically, you got to be pretty big to ride that 1500. You're pretty strong. And on an ATV, it's not the case. Anybody could ride any machine.
Oh, that's
Right.
cool. That's good
Whether
to
or
know.
not it's a smart idea to buy
Yeah.
a machine.
Before we're gonna go to break real quick here, but when we come out of break, I want to ask a question. All right, folks, hang tight. We're gonna come back with more with John, Erica, myself from Ronnie's right after this. Welcome back to Outdoor Secrets Unwrapped. I'm your host, Chris Bates. The feisty, spicy Erica Tanner,
We're gonna get you
John
to change
Levesque
that.
from Ronnie's Spot. We're not changing that. I'm hooked now. See, look at you.
Yeah.
I'm feisty, spicy. All right, let's continue with our conversation. So after we purchase, we decided on what we're purchasing. We purchase it, and you say to me, "But wait, there's more."
So when you purchase a machine, we offer
From Ronnie's.
We offer a maintenance program where you pay for your maintenances up front. The machine's covered. Extended warranties. Usually a machine comes with a 6-month to a year warranty. And you can cover that machine up to 4 years.
Wow. Now I know this is subjective, but generally speaking, what is the lifespan of a vehicle that, like, I purchased, right? So you say up to 4 years. Is that something that is industry standard for the warranty, the everything that you offer for that vehicle?
Yes, and the lifespan of the vehicle depends on
Right.
Maintenance.
maintenance, and we have some machines that come back that are 20 years old and they look like brand new, and we have some machines that come back 2 months old.
That look like they're 20 years old.
So it all depends
where'd you take
on
this?
preventative maintenance.
Do you talk to customers about that then? So this is a vehicle, treat it like your car? Because a lot of people treat vehicles differently, you know, like if this is your baby and take care of it.
Yeah, so pilot error, as we call it, is probably
Right.
one of the number one issues.
Okay.
From there, keeping the machine clean, keeping the battery on a battery tender is huge. We preach that because batteries are a problem, and so is the gasoline that we have today. So treating the fuel is another.
That's a really good question that I have now do these machines need treated fuel?
Yes,
So every time you go to fill up your machine, you have to have special gas treatment?
you should. And again, how are you going to use it? If you're going to use it every day, then no. But if it's going to sit like most do,
Right.
weeks on time at a time, you should treat the fuel.
And what is the treatment? What is the additive that's recommended?
There's a whole bunch of them. You can buy them anywhere.
Yeah.
It's to keep the water out of.
It's to keep the gas from breaking down.
Okay.
Is what it is. And with the ethanol in the fuel, it causes havoc.
Oh, I see. See, there's another secret revealed.
Well, I don't know if it was a secret. We just didn't know about it.
Right.
Do you know? Are there any like ATV clubs that like if you wanted to join, you want to do it more than just driving in and out of camp? You want to like really enjoy it, and
Yes.
are there trails and clubs that?
Yeah. Here in Vermont, it's called VASA,
Okay.
and it's a trail system.
Yep.
There's clubs. There's one over in Stanford, Reedsboro area. But there's many around New York State, upstate Vermont has them. So there are.
Because that, I think, would be more fun than being out there solo by yourself, you know, going out there on the trail. But if there was a club and it's a community kind of thing, it's a whole lot different than
Right.
when it started like 25 years ago. Like even with snowmobiling,
Right.
that used to be just going out on the trail, cutting some things. But now we have VAST. So we have this interconnected trail system all the way up to Canada. So it's really cool that there's secret.
And from VASA, they are working on that to get from border to border like the snowmobiles. A little harder because of, some of the trails getting there, I think, are privately owned. So
Yeah. And a lot of these guys are a lot rougher on trail, these kind of wheels and things. So
Yeah.
I know that VAST tends to be a little bit like protective of what they have done, which is understandable. But the fact that we could do it is awesome.
And real quickly, I don't know, we'll probably be running out of time real quick, but what are some of the vehicles you have here? You have the side-by-sides, you have the just regular four-wheelers. And then what else do you have here?
We have 10 franchises, so we carry all the major brands. So we have dirt bikes, street bikes, snowmobiles, ski-doos, particularly.
Electric bikes, regular bicycles?
We have electric mountain bikes by Specialized here.
Uh-huh.
And we're getting more and more into hybrid motorcycles and electric
Really?
motorcycles. Are getting,
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is hybrid motorcycles. How do they compare, though, to a combustible engine one?
They're evolving. We'll just say
Oh, I
it
see.
like that. They're evolving.
Kind of like the tools. I remember
Yeah.
back in the day when the first battery-operated screwdriver came out.
Yeah.
So now they have saws and everything else. But so they're evolving. That's a good thing too.
Yep.
Okay. So I just had a question, just left my head. Not only do you have the motorcycles, you have the gear. So it's very important
Real
to
quickly,
be
we're
protected.
gonna run
Sorry.
out of time.
When we come back, we'll talk about.
We're done.
We're live.
So you do
Wow.
have the gear.
You do the protective gear. It's important. The
Yes.
helmets,
Right.
the gloves. the
Your
pants.
address out here
It's 2601 West Road,
And a-
Bennington, Vermont.
and a phone number.
802-447-8606 or online at ronniesbennington.com.
Perfect.
Wow, this show went flying by.
It did.
I was just like, man, how does that happen?
We
See
do
what
appreciate
happens?
you hosting us here too.
Yes.
And what a
Thank
great
you.
location.
Thanks for having me. And
Yeah, we appreciate it. I was driving by all these times and I go, I got to stop in there. But you have a really nice store. I think it's wonderful. It wouldn't be like this if there was not enough people that come here. And I'm sure you have plenty of people from around here.
we do. We have people that travel quite far to come here too.
Wow.
Great. I see.
All right, we got to go. All right, folks, we got to run. We'll talk to y'all next time.